Matt Moore.
Good morning.
Hey man, thanks for joining us today. So buddy, you're up next.
All right.
So we've been doing a few of these over the last few weeks. And I think number one is just a way for all of us to get to know who everybody is, number one. And number two, we always hope that there's some nuggets that come out of this that people will take away and go, I didn't think about that way, or I didn't know that, right? Because everybody's on a different journey. We're all on the same journey, but we maybe sometimes take different ways to get there. So what I'd like to do is just kind of open up and just tell us a little bit about you, your background, and why real estate.
Okay. I've been licensed since '98. I did not jump in. I was 24 years old at the time. It was a suit and tie culture at that time. Just wasn't for me, but I was smart enough to pay my $45 every year.
Yeah.
Not let it expire. So fast forward to 3 years ago, both of my kids were old enough to go to school at that point after being a stay-at-home dad for 10 years. So I jumped in with both feet at that time, full-time, 3 years ago, at a different firm. Was successful I gave myself a year.
Okay.
And the year was successful enough for me to stay in. I saw the pluses. I saw I learned how to do transactions. I was kind of thrown into the fire. I wasn't trained, just got thrown in, which was good in one respect. It taught me that I knew that I could handle the transactional side of it.
Sure, yeah, okay.
So realized that wasn't the right place for me after a while. I kind of got burnt out on the internet lead side of things, and went searching. Came here, a year and a half ago.
Okay.
See all the training that I did not see where I came from. That's free, by the way, most of it, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it's a culture here, the people here, it feels good. And if it didn't, I wouldn't be here for a year and a half.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, that first year when you kind of, 3 years ago when you jumped into it. You said you found a level of success in year one. What did that look like for you? And you don't have to go into like specific numbers, but just kind of the overall feeling like, yeah, I can do this. What needed to show up for you to be able to say that?
Yeah, that was it. I can do this.
Was it a transaction count? Was it a dollar amount? Was there something personally that you were bringing back into your family that showed that you and maybe them that you can make real estate work?
Yeah, I mean, it was that I could, after not doing anything, but
dude, you had a really important job,
I had
for
an
10
important
years.
job.
Stay-at-home parents are always a critical
I did some
job.
stuff on the side, handyman stuff like that, but
Sure.
it wasn't contributing anything,
Mm-hmm.
Significantly. So to be able to do that, year one was the confidence builder. Is basically what it was.
Yeah, I got it.
Because like I said, I gave myself 1 year. If I didn't do it, I was going to go somewhere else.
So successfully getting people through transactions, would you say was kind of a big contributing factor
Yeah.
to success in year one?
Yeah.
As by your definition of success.
Right. Because what they do when you get your license, they scare you to death. That's
Yeah,
what they
like
do
don't
in
screw
real
it
estate
up.
school.
Yeah.
So to actually see that it's not that bad, it's doable.
Love
It was a confidence builder.
So
So I'm not a salesman, by the way.
Right.
I don't consider myself a salesman. So to be able to do it and not have that attitude or that personality just went that much further to build my confidence.
you and I were talking a little bit before we actually started filming that, my kind of philosophy in this is that the selling stops when they choose us. Because our competition, our selling is selling our value of why work with us, right? And once they make that decision, then we actually, to me, we switch hats. And the hats that we start wearing are either going to be the hat of a leader or the hat of maybe we could call it a consultant, where we have a plan, a proven plan actually, that shows people how they can successfully navigate the process of buying or selling, right? Because it's not our house to sell. We're not selling a product. We're not selling inventory. They've already bought us, if you will. Yeah, so I love that. So, all right, you searched around, you saw that we had some training. Was that the number one reason why you came to Keller Williams?
No, not at all. It was it was the people that I talked to, honestly.
Okay,
Um,
we're just a bunch
I-
of nice people.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had to watch my back where I was, and a couple of things happened that I wanna be around that environment where I have to constantly worry about, you know, what's happening behind the scenes, the lack of transparency, that type of thing.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that when I came here, but, you know, after talking to a couple people here, and, honestly, I had met Dan on a transaction when I was somewhere else,
Mhm.
and I knew, you know, how he acted and how
Right.
he handled himself
Mhm.
as an agent.
Yep.
I didn't even know he was here. But then
Oh,
I saw
really?
him in the
Okay.
lobby one day, you know, so. Anyway,
That's really
just
cool.
the culture, really. I didn't know much about the training. I don't even think I asked about the training. It's culture for me. When I got here and saw every week there's something going on in here, it was just a bonus, really.
Well, can I share? So this is kind of a little, kind of a hack, if you will, or something that I think everybody needs to understand. Culture looks different for a lot of people, right? I mean, we could think of that word culture, and we might just think about sometimes how people just show up. I mean, you mentioned it just in some of the initial conversations. But we're also a company where we feel that training is part of our culture. Profit share is part of our culture. Our split is part of our culture. Having an agent leadership council is part of our culture. So there's different cultural aspects of who we are as a company, and you get to experience the various aspects of what that culture looks like and feels like. So let's talk about training for a minute. So what maybe has been one or two of your most favorite things that we train on or that we talk about?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think they had an investor panel up here one day last year.
Yep.
Not really selling real estate, but another side of why you might be in the real estate business. Why did you get your license to invest? That was a big part of what I did back in '98. You know, I've always had the interest.
Right.
So to see a panel like that up here is just valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not down the path of selling real estate, right? So,
Right.
you know, that's one thing that stands out. It's not all about the sales.
Yeah.
There are different avenues and different values that come out of being here.
So do you find in your business currently, is there a certain area that you focus on as it relates to real estate? I mean, we could generalize it and say first-time buyers, things like that, or maybe first-time sellers, or investors, or commercial, or land, or luxury, or is there any one niche that you're kind of,
I mean, I've worked mostly with buyers,
okay?
you know, from the firm I was at previously, especially. I'd like to move toward listings. I mean, that's would be the ultimate goal.
Sure.
You have a lot more freedom that way,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which is one of the reasons I got into real estate to begin with,
Mhm.
the free schedule. So,
Well, at Keller Williams, we call that leverage, right? Working with the list side, it does give you a little bit more flexibility with your actual time
Mhm.
that you put into real estate. Plus, it gives us that other opportunity to generate our own business from it, right? The listings that we have, think about it as inventory, and that inventory attracts buyers. That inventory that we actually have too can also attract future sellers. We have a couple of different opportunities when we take listings. It's really tough to do that on the buy side.
right.
Nobody's really figured out how to put the sign in the yard that says, "We help the Smiths buy this house." I mean, I saw it one time, by the way, years and years and years ago, that somebody tried in our market, tried to make that a thing, and it didn't stick. But people are attracted to the for sale sign, aren't they?
Sure enough.
Yeah, love that, love that. All right, so let's we'll talk about where you are now. What do you want to see happen in your business? Like, if you had your best version of your business, say next year at this time we're sitting here having another conversation, what has to happen for you to be able to say it's been a great year?
Well, one more business for sure, but like I said, the listings is the goal.
Okay.
And I've got a lot of work to do to get myself in the position to sell myself,
Mhm.
right? Because again, it's not once I have sold myself, I'm good at all that.
Right.
So I've got to improve in that area. So if I can do that, gather more listings, I would be happy.
So one of the things then, what I'm hearing that we can help you with is improve the skills maybe on listing presentations, preparing for the listings, understanding the market conditions, how the market is performing, so we can have better conversations with potential sellers.
It's all about the conversation.
Yeah, okay, love it,
Yeah.
love it. So the better that we can help you with that, then of course, you probably have the higher likelihood of going out and having the conversations, because you'll have a higher level of confidence around it.
100%.
Yeah. And to be honest, isn't that what people are typically looking for when they're trying to choose their agent? Right? Love that. All right, so let's fast forward 5 years. What do you want to see happen? What is your life in general as it may be? What is your, let me rephrase this. What is your real estate business allowing to show up in your personal life that just makes it like the best winning, life you've got at the moment?
Yeah, 5 years from now, I'm not getting any younger. I got a late start. Family is of utmost importance. My daughters are 12 and 9, and I plan to be there for them as they grow up. If I can strictly be listings in 5 years, maybe even have a lot of leverage in place to help with that,
Yep.
It would give me even more time to be with the family.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Matt. I'm a little bit further along on my personal journey. I can tell you that 5 years from now, you'll have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old. They get more expensive as time goes, so we're gonna help you on that list side, because we want that business to fund the life you want. Because that's ultimately, that's our belief here at Keller Williams. The business funds the life you want. So we're gonna help you with that too. All right, close us with one thing that maybe has been your most impactful thing you've learned in your journey, either in real estate or here with us at Keller Williams.
Well, I'll go back to the family. I see so many agents jump in to the real estate and they have the kids at school, and the time is not there for the kids because they get so wrapped up in the business and hitting the numbers and all that. I want to hit the numbers, but I'm not going to sacrifice the family to do that.
Right.
So what I've learned is I can see that some people are doing it. They're hitting the numbers. They're having the time for the family. That's the ultimate goal. So learning that it can be done. Again, I'm in year 3 now. I can see that it can be done, so I'm going to stick with it.
So we've got 4 fundamental models here that come from Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's been out for a couple decades at least. And here's what I can tell you is that plan that you're looking for to create that exists in that world. And personally, I'm happy to help you get there and kind of explain how to do it in a way that, again, you built the business you want. Because I think that's a really, too many times, I think people think when they join Keller Williams that, you join only if you want to, build a big business. So you join only if you want to start a team or anything like that. It could be farther from the truth. I've always shared that, with anybody, it's like, what business do you want to own? And your answer is the right answer, because that's the one that suits what you're looking for. You don't have to come here and be, $100 million producer or, create a mega team. If you just want to, have the best balance in your life between work and the family time, and it also generates the revenue and the profit to create what you want, that's the best business, right? And that, I think, is what I would really want everybody to know as well. I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else you want to share?
I don't.
All right, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for being in business with us, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.